We're all praying we get this thing. Oh my God, what a fish! Wow, Jeff, way to go! Catching some really big fish here. Scott, get out of my way. I got to come through here. Oh my God, Scott! Wow! Woo!
Throw the bait. Throw the bait back there.
Worked on this fish. Look at that fish. Nice yellowtail. Brian's bit again. Here we go. That's a beautiful fish. Aaron and Brian. Yeah. Yellowtail. Yo-yo iron. Another one bites the dust. Beautiful. Nice, excellent. Fish are really getting active here, really full speed. Get him, Jesse.
85. He's not going to make it.
Oh, way to go, Phil.
Back to the coming in the corner here.
Surface iron. Nice hit on the yo-yo iron yellowtail on board the Independence. Nice fish there, Rich. Way to go, buddy. James has got a fish.
Before we get started on today's morning briefing, don't forget, if you're headed to Ensenada, you're going to want to give Zeke Casas a call. Only 15 minutes from downtown, but just check out that spectacular view while in Ensenada, Baja California Norte. And if that garage door is giving you a problem, then you're going to want to call your garage door man. That's Joe Welker. Tax problems? Nobody better than our friend Tim Marquez. Tim's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give the tax man a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to talk to our dear friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. This lovely Sunday morning. It is great to be back with you all. I'm on day 2 of a really bad cold, and I've got a great over-under game for you here. The over-under is 1. Will I take a pause or cough during the morning briefing? Put your guess down below. Hey, thanks for the 2 million plus views this past 28 days. We deeply appreciate that. Here on the morning briefing, we have got so much to talk about. Man, there's a lot of great things going on. We'll start out with long range. We'll talk Mexico, what's going on south of the border. Of course, we've got bluefin tuna fever going on here in Southern California. Fish 70 miles from Point Loma. Have any been taken? How big are they? We'll have all that for you. And of course, there's been quite a bit of halibut fishing going on in Southern California. Sculpin and whitefish also providing great action. The El Patron having great trips to Catalina Island. And up there on the Aloha Spirit, they finished off their season with a bang. We'll have that and so much more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friend. Oh, I don't know if it's just the warmth of the coffee that is so great, or it's going down over my sore throat here that is making me excited. Hey, if you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Also, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Also, you can tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. You can also follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Beautiful morning here. I'm glad I got out here on a normal kind of day, or when I wasn't feeling good and I'm feeling really crappy still, I just lay in bed. But man, you know, even this little bit of Mother Nature, being out here on the beach, man, I think that is going to be the cure for me in the long run. And I appreciate you all being with us. Let's start out south of the border. We'll talk Mexico, and we definitely want to talk about what is going on down there in Cabo San Lucas. A little bit of marlin down there, not all that much, few stripers here and there, mostly yellowfin tuna, and it's a mix. You can get these, 12 to 30 pound yellowfin tuna, and then all of a sudden you're into a 100+ pound YFD. There's a few wahoo still being taken down there and a few Dorado. And same thing up there in La Paz. We've been catching some Dorado out of Tail Hunter International. That's very unusual for the winter time. So once again, we're watching that all very closely. Mulaje, Laredo, those areas are a couple of just beautiful areas to fish. And the yellowtail bite, there's that gorgeous sunrise. The yellowtail bite has been outstanding there in that area. So it's really been fantastic fishing there. Getting up closer to the United States. Now, only 140 miles below the border is where you are gonna find San Quintin. And in San Quintin, we're still catching yellowtail. Some days they bite, some days they don't. It's a lot of yo-yo iron fish. That is to say, a heavy jig that you sink deep and you wind on fast. That's the yo-yo methodology. And the yo-yo jig is the smaller, heavier jig. You can get bigger jigs also, but kind of small, medium-sized jig work really well on the yellowtail. And you hook those fish by winding fast and winding through the bite. When you get bit, you don't rear back on the rod. You just keep turning the handle. That's how you hook these yellows on the yo-yo iron. And still great rock fishing down there in that neck of the woods. Now, I'm going to talk about a San Diego kind of bite right now, and that is the boats that go down to Punta Colonet and keep this geographically consistent, because 120 miles below the border, just a little bit above San Quintin, is where you find Cabo Colonet. And I'll tell you, there at Colonet, we have been seeing some excellent rock fishing. Check out that big ling on board the Tribute. Plenty of reds and other great bottom grabbers to go along with it. Remember, rockfish is closed here in Southern California. Uh-oh, that over's starting to look good here. I'm trying to catch my breath. Rockfish is closed there in SoCal, and it opens back up in April. So for the time being, you need to be in Mexican waters to catch rockfish and to keep them. And you can do that on those day-and-a-half trips leaving out of San Diego and going to Colonet. Now, it would not be out of reason to see a yellowtail bite there at Colonet on one of those trips. That happens all the time. We see that all the time. Maybe we're just a little bit too early for that to happen, but those yellows that are biting down there at San Quintin, well, that's only, another 20 miles down. So I'd definitely be bringing some yo-yo iron with me if I were you, and keep that in mind. Those trips have been absolutely outstanding. And as we get you up to Ensenada, our friends down there, we have many friends, great operations in Mexico, continue to hammer on the rockfish down there out of Ensenada. That's only 70 miles below the border, so some really good fishing there. And the occasional bass and, sand and calico bass, occasional halibut, but most guys down there are fishing, of course, for the rockfish. Out there on the Punta Banda area, we've got blackfin sport fishing, Baja fishing, we've got Lucky sport fishing with Captain Ihara, we've got Foca down there fishing, we've got Arnie sport fishing. There's a lot of great operators who really, really, really work hard to provide you with not only excellent table fare and a great day's fishing, but an adventure, that is for sure. By the way, if you like carne asada tacos, hang on till the end of the report. We can cross when we drive into Mexico in San Isidro and go through Tijuana. Most of the time, we cross in Tecate just for the carne asada tacos at Los Amigos. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out. Man, those guys are great. Good friends of mine now, and I know you're going to enjoy that at the end of today's report. Hey, don't forget, the El Patron is headed to Catalina Island every single weekend. They do a great job. There's no fuel surcharge right now. There is a special low price, limited load. The El Patron, Catalina Island, www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Make sure you get on board with the boys here next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They'll be headed back there. Been some good perch fishing, been some really good white fishing, and man, the possibility for a sea bass halibut or a yellowtail looms large with all the squid that's around. And don't forget the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing. She's in the yard right now. They're doing some, yearly maintenance on the boat and getting her all ready, but she'll be back before you know it. Or if you'd like to book a charter, you can call 805-676 3474, or visit them at VenturaSportfishing.com. So some really great stuff going on. Let's talk long range now, and that's when we're going to get into this bluefin tuna stuff, and then we're going to cover some really excellent halibut fishing that has also been going on. Long range, the Independence finished up a fabulous 16-day trip down below. They're all on these 16-day trips now. So they leave Point Loma in San Diego, and then they run down about 1,000 miles to Hurricane Bank. And there's been great wahoo fishing, which the Independence had yesterday. There's been great yellowfin tuna fishing on fish in the 120 to 160 pound class, and sometimes bigger than that. We've had several fish taken recently up over 200 pounds, and they finished off with a bang on the Independence. The Royal Polaris back in, several other boats back in. They have all been doing great on these long-range trips, so really great stuff going on. No question about that. I'm watching a bird here picking in the surf to see what he's picking out of the surf, but it looks like there's a little bit of bait here on the beach, and that's always a good thing. You know, that's going to bring in more predators here to the beach. I'll have the surf fishing update for you here in a moment longer. That over-under's pretty interesting. I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good here right now before I go back up and crash again. So there you have it. All right, so let's get you up here to this bluefin tuna scenario first of all. First of all, there is still bluefin and yellowfin down at about 300 miles below Point Loma. We know that because the Royal Polaris looked at it the other day and had outstanding fishing. It's the very same fish that we've been on for quite some time, and it's moved down the peninsula, but not that far, which bodes well for the coming season. We were on that same fish on the Independence in November on our 8-day trip. You guys were on that trip. Remember that fondly, I'm sure, as did many other boats that fished it. It was fantastic. So that's still around. But spotter planes have seen big bluefin tuna, and I'm talking 100 to 200 pound fish out in an area only 70 miles from Point Loma, and that's leading several boats to go online. Now, to be perfectly candid with you, seeing them doesn't mean you're going to catch them. It really does not mean that, but this is such a good early season signal. And man, the Pacific Voyager with Max, if you haven't heard that interview, Max goes through the tackle you're going to need and everything else. Whether you're going with him or you're going with somebody else, you should listen to that, because Max goes into great detail about these 100 to 200 pound fish. Most of the time in the wintertime, it seems like you catch those fish at night, but the Royal Polaris did have daytime fish on that 300-mile fish, so we'll see. It could be daytime and nighttime, but normally speaking, you're going to catch most of that fish in the nighttime bite. And they are leaving most of the boats. I know Max is on the Voyager, Pacific Voyager. He's going to leave extra early so that he has a full night that first night and also gets a pretty good piece the second night. It's virtually a 2.5-day trip. So we'll be watching that for you all very closely. Really interesting stuff going on indeed. All right, let's talk about what's going on up here in Southern California. And as we look up and down the coast, you know, I'm talking 1/2 and 3/4 day, guys. It's whitefish, it's sculpin, it's some pretty decent halibut fishing at times. May not be wide open, but there's some halibut around. The Native Sun had 7 nice halibut on board. Nothing wrong with that kind of a bite, as they had 7 halibut and some really nice sculpin. Nick Ramirez was out there catching some nice big fat sculpin. These things are really great eating, no doubt about it. Staying on the halibut theme, the Aloha Spirit finished up her season. She's going to go into the yard for some maintenance now. She's out of Cisco Sport Fishing in Oxnard, and like Pat O'Brien said, the captain of the boat, and Sean Stewart was there also, said, we either caught the last fish of the season or the first fish of the season. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. They had 6 nice halibut sculpin to go along with that. Marina Del Rey, twilight fishing. Earl, the Pearl. Mick Vicker was out last night with John Flood, and they picked off some calico and sand bass. Their twilight fishing's been pretty good. It's been good also on the Native Sun. They are running trips on the weekends out of 22nd Street Landing. So that's been pretty good. Redondo Special out of Redondo with some whitefish and some bass to go along with that. City of Long Beach, they've been out fishing for sculpin and doing really well on that. So good stuff for local guys, including private boater and dear friend, Dave Dodge. Dave said they had brisk fishing yesterday on sheephead, which he released. Can't keep them right now. On nice sand bass and calico bass, they released all of those also. And then they decided to load up on some really great eating fish. The sculpin, Dave says, if you bleed them right after you catch them, man, they are to die for. And there's Dave's culinary masterpiece right there. He was out with Jose Joe from Big Fish Bait and Tackle, and they had an absolutely great time. It looks like a lot of fun. All right, let's talk the Southern California surf. And here in the surf, the water's kind of cold right now, and that is perfect for barred perch. Barred perch love that cooler water, and that's exactly what we have right now. We've seen barred perch, walleye perch, we've seen some striped surffish, we've seen all kinds of different perch. And really right now, that's really what you're catching, along with the occasional halibut that gets mixed up in here also. So we do see some of that halibut also running around, and hopefully we are going to see more and more of it. That's going to be taken a lot of times on jerk baits, so tossing a lucky craft, even a chrome crocodile can be super effective. And we continue to see the occasional striper taken in the surf. We've seen a couple taken here around Seal Beach, a lot more up north. It's been pretty exciting in terms of that. So from down there, below the border, up to Ventura, mostly we are catching the barred perch right now. And some days are outstanding. And man, I'll tell you, some days it lacks consistency, or some weeks I should say, because right here on this beach, David Jimenez had 20 barred perch one day, and then guys came down here the very next day and caught nothing. So you just kind of have to move around like my friend Wayne Shimabukuro and the guys that fish there with him, all his buddies. They had slow fishing the other day, still had a really great time. But previous to that, they had really wide open surf fishing. So there's some good stuff. And don't forget, you can pick up all the bait and tackle you'll need right down there. Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. They're giving away a surf fishing rod, custom made every single month if you catch the biggest fish. You need to go in there, you buy the ruler, you have to have the official ruler, and then that's it. From the rest of the year, you're in that contest. You measure your fish with that ruler and upload your photo and or video to the Big Fish Instagram page. And man, if you got the biggest fish, you win. Every month the fish species changes, so we'll keep you informed on that, or better yet, just go in there to Big Fish Bait and Tackle and get all of that information. All right, hey, looks like I made it through this thing. Oh, man, that's what I need. Well, I've got the flu or whatever it is. I've got some nice cold water on my tootsies. Man, that water doesn't feel that bad, to be honest. And it is absolutely gorgeous here. And I've got no doubt in my mind that coming out here and hanging out on the beach for a few minutes with all of you, thank you for doing that with me, is going to make me get over this crud a little bit quicker. Hey, wishing you a great day. Stay tuned if you want some really delicious carne asada tacos in Tecate. Check it out. It's a lot of fun to go down there. One of these days, hopefully, we'll be able to do that with all of you. All right, have a great day. Take care. And I hope to see you really, really soon. Baja California Norte. It's one of my favorite places. I can't wait to go in it and say hi to all my friends, and of course, sample the best carne asada in Tecate. No, ¿cómo estás?
Aquí dándole bien.
Gusto verte.
Sí, sí.
¿Cómo está todo bien?
Todo bien.
If you're looking for a landmark, there's the McDonald's. And I'm just going to swing around here until we see Los Amigos. Here it is. So McDonald's will get you really close to the promised land, where you are going to find some of the best carne asada anywhere. ¿Cómo está todo bien?
Bien, aquí.
Muy bien. Por fin, ¿verdad?
Sí, Felipe.
Estaba demasiado tiempo en Gringolandia.
¿Cómo están? Gusta ver todos ustedes. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo está, señor? Muy bien. Bueno, vamos a comer, ¿verdad? Gracias. Hey, señor, ¿cómo está la comida aquí?
Bien rica.
¿Y por cuánto tiempo comiendo aquí?
Rápido.
¿Sí?
Sí,
Muy bien.
tienen bien rápido.
Y es carne asada, ¿verdad?
Carnitas asada, el burrito, bien rico, mire.
Mira este. Wow.
Mire.
Yo quiero 5 de esos.
5, ándale, si se lo come, le dan hasta 6.
Muy bien. ¿Cómo te llamas, señor?
Gerardo Jiménez.
Mucho gusto.
Igualmente.
Gracias. Señorita, ¿qué vas a comer hoy?
Tacos de maíz.
¿Tacos de maíz?
Ajá.
¿Y cómo están?
Están muy ricos.
Este es con carne asada
Carne
también.
asada, ajá, sí.
¿Tú vives por acá?
No, trabajo aquí cerca.
Ok. ¿Y vienes acá muchos tiempos o no?
Sí, vengo seguido.
Ok, muy bien. ¿Y cómo te llamas?
Rosy Antelo.
Ok, mucho gusto.
Ok, gracias.
Gracias.
Ok.
Oh, this is the best place the tacos in the city. The Tecate carne asada burritos. It's the since the 1980s.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first taco place in the city.
How long have you been coming here? Many years?
Yeah, I think maybe 20.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 years.
Did you come here with your father? Or?
No, with my grandpa.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
with my grandpa.
Nice.
Yeah, my grandpa worked in the brewery.
Oh, okay, over at
Tecate,
Tecate.
yeah. Tecate.
Beautiful. Oh, look at this, man. Does that look good or what, Greg? Wow. Thank you. Hey,
The tortillas homemade.
are they?
Yeah.
Oh, my
homemade.
God. I've been coming here maybe 8 años. I'm going to say, yeah,
Okay.
like that. But
All right.
thank you so much.
Okay.
What's your name?
Many.
So-
Nice to meet you.
My pleasure. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Hey everybody, Los Amigos here in Tecate, Baja California. This has got to be one of the best places to eat carne asada. It's so reasonably priced. The people here are so nice. There's so many nice and lovely people all around us enjoying the cuisine. I'm going to take a bite of this. I'm not waiting any longer. So freaking good. Alexa, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien.
¿Dónde estamos?
Aquí en la taquería Los Amigos.
Oh my God.
Está muy bueno.
Son tan ricos, ¿verdad?
Ujú.
¿Siempre comes aquí?
La mayoría de las veces sí.
¿Oh,
Cuando
sí?
quiero tacos aquí venimos.
Bueno, y ellos solo tienen carne asada aquí, ¿verdad?
Creo que sí. Yo nada más como carne asada, pero no sé la demás gente.
¿Y qué le gusta? ¿Burritos, tacos?
Yo
¿Qué?
como quesadillas sin carne, pero cuando como tacos es de carne asada
Ajá.
y burritos.
Muy bien. ¿Y tú vives aquí en Tecate?
Aquí en Tecate.
Y you speak perfect English too, right? Where did you learn your English?
At school, it's both because I lived in Ontario, so
Oh, okay.
that's both of them.
Muy bien. Gracias y provecho.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, you guys. Thank you. Tengo que salir. Gracias por todo. Gracias. A usted, gracias. Espero ver a todos ustedes. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Gracias a todos ustedes. Ok, gracias. Nos vemos muy pronto. Gracias. Cuídate y nos vemos muy pronto. Ok, bye bye. Gracias.